Okay, today's video here at Shooting Science is about how to prep your gun, your brand new pistol, for the first time at the shooting range. So, there's a few things you want to make sure you do to make sure that your pistol operates smoothly for its first time at the range. And I'm going to show you a couple of things that you can do. So we need to get some supplies first. So out here, I've listed all of the supplies that you're going to want. So right here, you have Hops number 9 bore cleaner. You can use any bore cleaner, gun bore cleaner, but this is the most popular one. It's been around forever. You also want to get some Hops number 9 lubricating oil. Okay. And then any type of gun grease, something that's thicker than oil. Gun lube. I've got this Pro Gold lubricant from Pro Shot Products. I've had this probably 12 years. I've only used half of it. A little bit goes a long way. So I'll show you that too, on how to not glob up your gun with a bunch of goop. You don't want to do that. So I'll show you. These are cotton bulk patches. So very common at gun stores. You can buy them online. They come in cleaning kits. You can put these on a barrel cleaner and run them through your barrel. But they help with lint-free spreading of oil. I like to actually, for the biggest bulk part of the cleaning of the gun, you want to clean the gun first and get the factory oil off of there, is actually using painter's rags. You can get them from Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever. They come like this. You can get them in a box of, this one I have is from Home Depot. It's 4 pounds. HGX painter's rags. They're cheap and they come with various different types of material, but nothing in here is going to scratch your new gun, so you don't have to worry about that. And they're, brand new rags, so they don't have other chemicals or, weird things on them. If you decide to use some other rag in your garage, you run the risk of that. Okay, so let me show you the first steps. So we're going to move this stuff out of the way for now. The pistol that I'm going to be working on today is a Stoeger STR9 Compact. It shares the same internals as a Gen 3 Glock. And the takedown of this weapon is going to be very similar to a lot of different pistols. I know Walther PDP uses a very similar system. The Palmetto State Armory Dagger uses a very similar system to this as well. All right, so the first thing you want to do is make sure the weapon is not loaded. Even though you may think it's not loaded, you know it's not loaded, you always want to check. Okay, so we're going to take the magazine out. We're going to open the slide, push up on the slide stop to hold the slide. And I had a training round in there. And you want to inspect that there's nothing in the chamber, right? Okay. Now, we have to remove this, okay, to clean off the gunk and prep it for your first use at the range, right? So you never want to push this down and drop the slide on an empty chamber. That will ruin your gun if you do that too many times. So it's best to not do it at all. Just pull this down and gently let the slide forward, okay? To get the slide off of a Glock or a PSA dagger or one of these Stoegers, you want to just put your thumb right here. You're going to pull back a little bit like this. So put your thumb up here, put your fingers on top, pull back like this. Okay. Now you're going to, what you're trying to do here with this step is get weight off of this point right here. Okay. You're going to grab these teeth with your thumb and your index finger and pull down on both sides. Okay. Now you want to pull the trigger, and now the slide comes off. That's the same on a Glock, PSA dagger, Stoeger, right? And then to remove the guide rod right here, you just want to push forward, pull that out. You want to get the barrel out. The best way to do that is to push forward, pull up, pull back. Okay. So now you get the slide. What you want to do is get some bore cleaner, get some of this stuff, and you can spray it in here, or you can put it on a rag, and then you want to wipe all this down and get it really nice and dry in here first. You're going to want to get this bore cleaner on your barrel, and you're going to want to wipe the barrel down and get it all cleaned off. Okay. Once you get those two things cleaned off with the bore cleaner, I'm not doing it right now because it's already been done. But once you get those two things cleaned off with the bore cleaner, you want to add your lube. So the easiest way to do that is to get one of these Q-tips, get some gun grease on the tip of it like that. Okay. You want to lubricate the rails that the slide is going to slide on. So you want a little bit, and you used to want a little bit right there, a little bit right there, a little bit right there, and a little bit right there. Just get on the top and the bottom, okay? That's the first thing you want to grease up. The other thing that you want to grease up that a lot of people don't do, a lot of people know about that. What a lot of people don't do is the barrel. And one of the most important surfaces to lubricate on your barrel the first time you shoot it is not the top. The top is obvious. You definitely want to lubricate that, but it's this side right here. So you want to put some grease on there, spread it around real thin where it looks like that. And you also want to do the same thing on the surface in here. You can see I've already done it. You can see the grease on there in here. And that is going to help when you're first shooting the gun, because this is a high friction point against the side of the barrel. These two things rub against each other in here, and they can catch on each other high friction. So you want to put a little bit of really thin layer of grease there and there. Now, of course, you also want to get it on the rest of the barrel too. All right, but it's just an important thing to put there. Okay, and then on all these surfaces here, because all these are metal to metal contact surfaces. So you want to make sure that this is all happy with a nice thin coat of grease. It doesn't hurt to put some around the end too. You can already see the wear line right there. So anywhere you see a wear line like that, you're going to want to make sure that it has grease, oil, some type of lube on there. The reason why I like to use gun lube or grease is because it doesn't sling off as easy as regular lubricating oil will when you shoot it. It sticks on there and stays on there longer. Okay. So once you're done with that, it's also a good idea to, just for good measure, put a little drop of lubricating oil, just one drop on each side, in the channel where those rails slide back and forth. Even though you put gun lube over there, that should be enough, but I like to just do one drop of the oil too. And then you're going to spread it around. All right, so now we're ready to put the gun back together again. So you want to drop the barrel in, put the guide rod in. You want to do this. The small end always goes that way, and the big end always goes into the notch on the bottom of the barrel. So like this. Some barrels have more than one notch. Just put it on whatever notch makes it level with the slide. So look at it like this. Make sure the thing's not going crooked. For example, if your guide rod looks like that, it's wrong. That's bad. Don't do that. Put it on the correct slot to where it's straight with the barrel, or with the slide, I mean. Okay, So this is a lot easier to put back together than it is to take apart. So now you just want to line up those notches in the back, here and here, with these first two rails. Okay. So we're just going to line them up. We're going to put it on real gentle. Slide it all the way back. You may have to jiggle it a little bit. There we go. May have to jiggle it. Something ain't right. Oh, look. See? That's off. So you need to make sure your guide rod is centered. There you go. Now it'll go on. Look at that. Okay, and now to spread that grease around, you just want to go like this a bunch of times. Keep your finger off the trigger. You just go like that. That spreads it all out. Then on the back, you may have some excess here and here. Just clean that off. Another thing might want to do is, if you notice that your slide came out of the box with a bunch of grease on it already, that's not good. You want to put some of this on a towel, and you want to rub all of the factory gunk off of the slide like that. And then you want to re-oil it, because once you rub all that gunk off, it is coated, but these things rust. I mean, you put them away in a tight, safe or a case. If you live in a humid place, rust will find its way onto that slide eventually. So the best way to protect from that is to re-oil it and then wipe the oil down to a thin layer. So you can put a little oil on it like this, right? And just rub that oil on there, right? And then if it's too much oil, no problem. You just take your painter's rag and rub that again until the finish doesn't look wet anymore and it just has that nice even sheen. You want a nice even sheen that looks like that. Because if it's too wet, then oil's going to sling everywhere. It's going to be a mess. You're not going to be able to grip the gun properly. You just want a nice, thin, even layer of oil on the whole thing. Good thing you're wearing rubber gloves, although I have a hole here. The latex gloves help a lot to spread this stuff out and makes it way easier for cleanup, because if you get this oil or this gun bore cleaner on your skin, it takes more than one hand washing to get it off. I mean, it stays on there for a good bit. And, it's known in the state of California to cause cancer too, so best to not get it on you. It's not going to kill you if you get it on there once or twice, right? But best practice, just put some latex gloves on. Makes your life a whole lot easier. You can take these gloves off, go wash your hands, and you don't stink. This stuff right here, just preparing you if you don't know already, this stuff smells like gasoline mixed with bananas. Okay, it smells crazy. So you're going to probably want to do this in a well-ventilated area, garage, outside. You don't have a garage, somewhere where you don't mind the smell for a day, a couple hours, right? Well-ventilated place, you won't smell it, right? You just don't want to do that. You probably don't want to do all this on your kitchen table if you can help it. Also, this is a silicone mat right here that I have. It's nice because you can just wipe up stuff, right? If you don't have a silicone mat, they're pretty cheap on Amazon. You can also just get some cardboard, some thick cardboard boxes, right? Cut them up and work on that. So just make sure you're not working on something that's nice with no protection, because you will screw it up with all these chemicals. Also wanted to just throw out there that you are watching Shooting Science. There's a lot of channels on YouTube that are run by AI and steal content. So I wanted to go ahead and put that right in the middle of this video. Again, this is shooting science. We'll go ahead and wipe off this slide now that that oil is set in there for a little bit. See, that's what it should look like. Real nice, like. I don't need to do the top. Boop, boop. That's it. That's all. That's it. Look at how that looks, though. Doesn't that look nice? Yeah, it's because it is nice. That's how it should look. If you have a metal guide rod and a metal recoil spring, right? That's metal on metal. So when you're done with the whole pistol, you can lock the slide up, and now you have access to get one of these with a little bit of gun lube, gun grease on there, and you can spread it around the exposed guide rod this way. You can even get underneath it. Just don't point that barrel at yourself. We know it's unloaded, but just don't do that. All right, so we've got that spread around there. And now gently let this back, and then you can spread it around that way. And now you're all done. All right, so that's it. You are ready to go to the range. This should feel a lot smoother now. And your pistol should perform well as long as you got quality ammo. One thing I want to remind you, do not, if the pistol's like this and there is no bullet in here, don't push that down and drop the slide. Okay, that'll mess your gun up. Don't do that. Just pull back, let go slowly. Okay, it's not designed to not have a round in there. When this slide moves forward, having a round in the magazine at the top of here, that cushions everything. So when this goes forward and pulls around into the chamber, then your gun is not getting destroyed. Like that. And then also, if you have training rounds, like they call them snap caps. If you get snap caps, you're able to then also pull the trigger and practice dry firing. If you don't have a bullet in there and you are pulling the trigger, you can be destroying your trigger as well. So don't pull your trigger with nothing in there. Make sure you have a snap cap so that you're not destroying your firing pin or anything like that. All right. That's it. Stay safe.